takes slow. The night gets deep. Your silhouette a secret I keep. Whispers crawl where the shadows lead. Velvet skies, your name's a song.
Good. Ready? Hey, welcome back to Sacred and Naked, the space where we tell our truth and we honor our healing and we reclaim our sensuality and we redefine our sexuality. We deepen our healthy sexual practices and return to the most authentic versions of ourselves. This is your permission to be fully seen, fully expressed, and deeply, deeply loved. Starting with the relationship that you have with yourself. Welcome to my safe space. Wow, I have been in such a space. I've done a lot of spiritual work, a lot of candle work, a lot of journaling and reflecting. And so I am super excited to share with you and to really see if you can feel a shift in my energy. Today, I want to share with you a story. I had a friend reach out to me maybe a month ago. I used to work with her. I got her permission to share this story, but I will not say her name or her lover's names. But she reached out to me. Super sweet soul. Like, she is amazing. Her whole family is amazing. But when I worked with her, I was able to feel very seen and very loved. And her partner also amazing. Wow, they're just both as a couple amazing. So anyway, she reached out to me and just wanted my take on a situation she was going through. And I really thought it was amazing. So I got her permission to share. She said, "Help. I have fallen in love with a friend, a woman who my wife actually set me up with as a friend though." So this friend of her wife was going through a hard time and just needed somebody to be there for her. And again, my friend is an amazing friend and just very loving, a safe space. And so I'm not surprised that her wife recommended her to hold space for this friend. In the process of her holding space for her, being a place where the friend is being vulnerable and she's also sharing her vulnerability and just kind of the daily check-ins and all of that, it built emotional intimacy. Not surprised. That's very, very normal. But in the process of building emotional intimacy, she fell in love with her, and she ended up spending a weekend down. I believe the friend stays out of state, but spent a weekend down. Just like his friends, just best friends. But I think it was at that moment when she was pulling out the driveway, and she described it like the friend was like very teary-eyed, and my friend, as she was pulling out of the driveway, just broke down crying. And it wasn't like they weren't going to talk to each other again or weren't going to see each other again or any of that, but I think it was such a beautiful weekend, and neither one of them wanted it to end. And so my friend was like, help, I've fallen in love with this person, but I also, of course, love my wife. How is it okay for me to love two people? Well, she came to the right place, because as a ethically non-monogamous person, as a person who identifies as poly, I not only believe it's okay to love multiple people, but I have experienced it. And so I just reassured her that everything she felt was normal. When you build emotional intimacy, of course, strong emotional feelings and attachments form. And if you're demisexual, like me, then you do develop those feelings of wanting to explore sex with the person, which is what she also said she was feeling. And she was wondering if that person was possibly feeling the same way. She shared messages between the two just to see if I saw like any flirting or any, like, what was the energy between them. And what I thought was really, really cool, she shared it with her wife. She shared with her wife that she, developed these deep, strong feelings for the friend. And her wife was like, I don't blame you. Like, you've done nothing wrong. This is completely normal. And I think she shared with me that they talked about like, okay, what does this mean? And so I also encourage her, to talk about it more, like, what if you want to explore these feelings, which she wants to explore the feelings. I think what I was trying to help her get over was the guilt, because again, she had done nothing wrong. It's not like she went seeking to fill a void. It just kind of happened. She was honest with her wife about it. Her wife was completely supportive, and was just like, I would never hold you back from exploring your feelings, which I think is amazing. I really feel like they have a love that is built to last. And I say that because when you're in a committed relationship, and I hesitate to say married, because you don't have to be married to be in a committed relationship. Like, you can be in a committed relationship, married or not, long distance, or, in the same space. I mean, the commitment just is based on the two people and how you guys feel. But they're married. But you can be in a committed relationship with somebody for a long time. You will change. You will change. The other person will change. As you go through life, you transform into different people. You grow. Sometimes you break. Like, you have just, life happens, and you go through a lot of things. And so for her wife to say, okay, I'll never hold you back from exploring, like, where does this leave us? And they had like several conversations of like, how do we navigate this? Definitely a love that's built to last. I'm sure they'll be together forever. And even if they weren't, which I doubt, this will break them up, regardless of what the other relationship blooms to be. The fact that they have this emotional safety where they're able to talk these things out, Not to say there wasn't any jealousy or any hurt or any whatever. There's guilt on my friend's part. I'm sure there was other feelings, insecurity, whatever other feelings that were, that came up for them. The fact that they have emotional safety to be able to express these things and talk these things out in a safe space is incredible. And you need emotional safety to have longevity in a relationship. For my friend, it was a little bit harder to kind of talk her out of the guilt. And so I check on her here and there just to see how she's doing with it. She seems to be okay. They're doing a lot. Her focus right now is to, one, figure out, my focus with her is to figure out, to soothe the guilt. You love who you love. That's just how it is. But her focus, because I advise her I want her to talk to the other person more in depth about her feelings, but I want her to be solid in what her relationship with her wife will look like if she explores. So if the relationship with her wife is her primary relationship, not that she's turning poly, but I'm just saying, if that's the primary relationship, which it is, before you reach out to the other person, you need to have solid boundaries and a solid understanding in that space. So what does it look like for me to explore these feelings with this other person? What are you okay with? What are you not okay with? What do you want to know? What don't you want to know? How do I make sure that you feel secure and reassured in this space as I explore this other space? What practices do we need to put in place to make sure that we are solid? And I think it's a beautiful thing to explore. As a person who has tried to explore this with her husband and with her girlfriend, even when I had a boyfriend, when I first opened my marriage up, I had a boyfriend. And my husband had just somebody he was talking to. She didn't make it to the girlfriend part, which could be another episode. Just talk about that more in depth. But my husband and I, when we first, because we didn't have any examples to look for or toward, and so we had to figure out, okay, what do you communicate with me and what don't you? What do I want to know? What can I handle? What don't I want to know? My husband is a person who does not want to know. He does not want to know. I am somebody who wants to know. I want to meet her. I need to feel her energy. I need to make sure that she's right for you. Part of that is controlling, maybe, but the part of it is I'm very spiritual. I am really great with picking up on energies, picking up on people's intentions. And this is why I'm so fucking protective of this, the space between he and I, and the space that, me and my girlfriend have talked about, if you see somebody else, what does that look like? But because I'm dealing with him, I live with him, I'm dealing with him on a regular, I need to make sure the person, I need to make sure, I want him to make sure that the person is, that they mean well and they're healthy and their intentions are genuine and they're not coming to fuck up this family. I'm very protective over my family, and as the spiritual priestess and divine feminine in my household, that's my job. So is it controlling? I don't know, but it's definitely my job to make sure that my family is solid and like I protect it against, all outside oppositional forces. Anyway, we can talk about that on another episode, but just to have that understanding. And so very proud of her, very proud of them, very inspired by them that they were able to talk that out and get an understanding and the love that my friend's wife has for her that's made her say, like, I would never hold you back. That is insane, to be able to allow your partner the room to grow and explore and become, and not be possessive of them, and knowing that yes, they're your person, but you guys are individuals and you guys are also on individual paths, as you guys are kind of growing and doing life together. And so some things you guys may go in different directions here and there. You know what I mean? Like if you think about being with somebody for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, that person is not going to be the same as when you met them. And there's going to be things that happen in life that requires them to morph and transform and break and build themselves back up and all these type of things. And to be able to give them room to do that is amazing. And I think that may be something that a lot of relationships are missing today. Like, yes, this is the person that you fell in love with and that they make you feel good and whatever, but your happiness is your responsibility, and this person is not supposed to make you whole. And I think that is a very dangerous misconception that we carry when we think about relationships. I was going to say monogamy. I think it is a big part of monogamy, a very toxic part of monogamy, that you're searching for the one that's going to complete you, the one that's going to make you happy, the one, what I'm saying, that's going to make life better. And that's too much pressure to put on a person. You're supposed to be whole. Your wholeness is your responsibility. Your happiness is your responsibility. Your healthiness is your responsibility. And you're supposed to be choosing a person or two or three or whatever that enhance your life, that adds to your life, but does not save you or complete you, or what I mean. And so when we enter relationships in that way, where we're like, this is my person and I own them, and we don't say I own them, but we are possessive of them, and we don't give them room to grow and be anything other than what we want them to be, and that's just not healthy. And so kudos to this couple. Definitely an inspiring love that's built to last. That room that they've given each other to express and grow, the safety that they've provided for each other to be able to express and talk things out. Man, dang. If y'all see this, let's do lunch or dinner. I miss y'all. We used to hang out a lot. My girl said that she loves the podcast and she loves how I give different perspectives on things. So this is for you. Shout out to you. I love you. You guys have a beautiful relationship. I hope that the other person is able to experience you in a more intimate way. But if not, you and your wife, you guys have an amazing relationship. So for you guys that are watching this, I want you to comment this. I'm sure many people won't agree. It's just really hard, I think, just in this society, in this day and age, to really understand giving your partner the room to be, just to explore, to be, to grow, to elevate, to transform, and to not be possessed by you. So tell me in the comments what you think. I would love to hear if you feel this way. Have you experienced it? Do you disagree with me? I want to know. So please let me know. Until next time, I love you and happy healing. I hope for you that you find this type of relationship where they give you the space and the safety to grow and be and become your most healthy and highest self. Bye.
Moonlight dripping through the